My name is Welile Nolingo. I'm the General Secretary of the Union. If I may start with the preparation for the conference, is that it has been an uphill process in that when we decided to hold the National Bargaining Conference in December last year for this to hold it this year, we knew that there will be challenges with regard to resources, and I must say that we've managed to pull it off because we managed to raise some funds, and in a very short space of time we were able to prepare for documentation as well as managing to find accommodation this place after we've gone around other places where we could not find them. So it has been a challenge, but we've managed to pull through. If I may come to the program yesterday, I think one is only disappointed that some of the organizations that we invited did not pitch up, and they did not even inform us as to why they are not pitching up. They did not even respond to our invitation. But we hope that we will deal with that later on, because we thought that with this kind of gathering, you need to find particularly the alliance partners to come and address these workers, as you know that we're going towards elections in this year. But I think with regard to the actual program of the conference, we managed yesterday to stick to the program until we finish it. And in the main yesterday it was speakers and workers were listening, and a lot of information that was given to them, both from the point of view of COSATU, the Labor Research Services, as well as other people that we invited to bring in some kind of, to actually present their situation. Even this morning, when they were having a particular training on skills, on negotiating skills, I think there was a lot of information that they received, of which we think that it does help the comrades who are going to negotiate, because the majority of people that are here are negotiators in different sectors. And we think that it's going to help them, and they will be able to deal with the issues, particularly when they got the information from the speaker today about the processes, preparations, and be able to represent the people that actually have mandated you, and be able to report back and get proper mandates within the organization. It has been some time where our collective bargaining situation has been not in a very good organized fashion, to an extent that over this period the employers have been taking an advantage of the union. We hope that we turning the corner this year in 2019-2020 negotiations, in that the employers are going to run for their money. We're not just going to go there and be they walk over us, but we will be in a position to engage properly, and where we don't agree, we will actually, there will be hard fights this year. But I must also say that that comes with a hard work from our side as a trade union, because we need to mobilize our members towards a particular goal that we think after this conference, after all these commissions come together, we'll be in a position to set so that we can be able to reach that goal. And I must say that I'm optimistic with regard to that particular process. We are willing as a trade union to put resources in mobilizing our members towards these particular goals, because over the last few years, employers have just been negotiating wages, nothing else. We want to set standards and say these are standards that the industries must actually meet. Those that have not met the standard, they are obliged to meet the standard. If it comes to a situation where we set programs towards setting those standards, we will have to do that. But also, the conference is going to decide on the multi-year agreements. For an example, this year, we're starting negotiations this year without petroleum sector, because this is the third year where petroleum sector has not been negotiating. If, for an example, this conference at the end of the day, probably tomorrow, resolved to go back to 1 year, we will ensure that all the sectors, everybody else goes back to 1 year. And if it means that we must fight for that, we will mobilize our members towards that particular goal. Well, it's not going to be easy, as I'm saying. It's going to be a struggle. And that's a struggle that Ceppwawu must take up on behalf of its members. By the way, we must be driven by our members. We must hear our members' voices behind us. We must be able to say, this is what our members are saying, and this is what our members want. With regard to today, I'm sure I've mentioned today, and I'm not sure whether I will be able to have this kind of interview tomorrow, because I will be leaving a little bit early. But I hope that the outcome of this conference will be the one that will be agitating our members. The resolutions that will be taken here towards submitting our proposals to employers, because what we want to do as we submit our proposals to sectors, national sectors, next week, Friday, we also want to do the same at national companies as well as plant level negotiations. Submit the same proposals. I know that when we get to plant level, you will find workers saying that these are yes, these are court demands, but these are our specific demands that we want to negotiate at the plant level negotiations. But at the same time, we are going to take a particular item, a particular demand, which is centralized bargaining, very serious, bringing back those that have left the centralized bargaining. This is not going to be an easy task, but we are going to achieve that particular situation. We are going to ensure that those that have left the bargaining councils, they will have to come back. We are now discussing ways and means of ensuring that how do we then ensure that this voluntarism, participating voluntarism in the bargaining council by companies come to an end. There must be ways that companies are actually in a particular sector join the centralized bargaining. They join their employers associations and they join the centralized bargaining. And if we can achieve that, we will actually deliver to our members, and we will be in a position to actually deal with all other issues where employers are not actually attending to when we negotiate, because they only attend to wages. And remember, inflation is 4.7 for 2018, and the possibility is that it starts at a lower level, 20 January now, up until now. So employers are going to stick to that. But what we want, the message that we want to send to employers is that a resolution might come out of this Congress that inflation rate is non-negotiable. What we'll negotiate is an improvement factor that is between 1% and 5%. And those are the issues that I think our members must take forward very seriously, because if we can't do that, we are doomed. looking at specific challenges in this particular commission, and we have actually identified those challenges. And some of those challenges are the ones that I've just mentioned. Companies that are running away from the bargaining councils, and this voluntary joining voluntarily bargaining council, and not addressing all the items that are demanded by workers, only addressing wages. Those are challenges that we must deal with. And I think the issue of inflation rate, as it was presented yesterday, that the inflation rate is a collective of items in a particular basket, and it's averaged, and it comes down in that particular month. And if you look at the different items, food inflation, transport inflation, electricity inflation, at all these different inflation rates, even if you average them, you'll find that the real inflation rate is quite high. It's more than this. But what we will do, we will take the basket, the measured basket inflation rate, and be able to say we're not negotiating this one. This one is automatic. In other words, this one is automatic. Employers must just give it. What we must negotiate is what happens when the inflation goes up, because you can get an inflation rate increase this year at 4% or 5%. Towards the end of the year, the inflation rate is at 6%. Where the 2% came from, it comes from what you already had, and it takes away the money that you don't have. So what we are saying is that the inflation rate is non-negotiable. All what we must do, we must actually negotiate for in case inflation rate goes up. We must be able to have that buffer where inflation rate, and we think that it should not be less than 3% on top of inflation rate. If we negotiate and agree. In any agreement, it should not be less than 3%. So we hope, not hope, but we know that our members are going to agree with us. Because these delegates that you see here, they had general meetings at plant level, they had local meetings, they had regional shopsware council, and ultimately they had their regional executive committees, of which after that they sent their positions as different regions. And there's a commission that's consolidating those demands, where we are going to come out here with a set of demands agreed by everybody.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.